Creating a repair disk. You will need a repair disk to be able to restore to the system image backup that we've just created when we need to. For these steps, you will need a small USB thumb drive about 2 gigabytes in size. So the first step is to plug in the USB drive, and I have done that. So if I take a look at my computer here, I guess it's called this PC, and this L here is my recovery drive or my repair disk. For some reason in Windows 8 they call it the recovery. In Windows 7 it was called the repair disk. It's basically the same concept here. So I'm going to minimize this window. The next step is we need to get into the control panel and get into the file history. So if you don't remember how to get here, I right clicked here and I went to the control panel, and then I clicked on this file and history button, which produces this window here. So down here on the lower left, what I'm interested in is this recovery link right here. It's right above the system image backup. So I'm going to click on the recovery link, and then we have three options here. The first one is to create a recovery drive, open a system restore, or configure a system restore. And we want the top one. We want to create a recovery drive. You'll get a user account control prompt. Go ahead and click yes to that. And now it's going to scan through and see what drives are connected to this machine. You'll get this window here. There isn't really anything that you can do here, so just click next. It'll go through and it'll scan for drives again. And here we need to select a drive which is going to be our recovery drive. So it wants us to select a USB flash drive. So this is a thumb drive, and this drive letter L here is my thumb drive. So I'm going to go ahead and click next once I select the correct one. Now we're getting a prompt here that says everything on the drive will be deleted. If you have any personal files on the drive, make sure you've backed up the files. So it's going to wipe this drive clean, and I've done this step before, so I don't have anything important on there. So I'm going to go ahead and click create. So it's going to prepare the drive, it's going to format the drive, then it's going to copy some utilities over that we need. So the example drive that I'm using is about 2 gigabytes in size. It doesn't need to be really big. Maybe you have an old drive laying around that you really can't use for anything. It would be good for something like this. Once it is finished, you'll get a window that looks like this. Go ahead and click Finish button down here at the lower right. And we can go ahead and close out of all of these windows. And the last step that I recommend doing is to test this recovery drive. Make sure that you can actually boot off of it. We've done this step a little bit earlier in task 4 for returning students. So I would recommend going back and taking a look at task 4 for returning students table of contents outline. Check out section 4.5.1 where it talks about booting off install media. The technique used to boot off of the install media also works for this recovery thumb drive. So if you can actually boot off of this recovery thumb drive, then you know that this actually worked and you can continue on.